There we go. All right, it would help if I added the audio and camera to the thing. But sorry for the delay. I was taking care of a couple last minute things um, that I had to get done. Otherwise, I wouldn't do them. So, yeah. So, anyway, let me, there we go. So, how was everybody's last couple of days? I don't know about you, but I feel like a weight has been lifted. And I feel like we're only going to go up from here. I know my crypto has been. So, um, yeah. Yeah. Did anybody watch the Biden speak today, where he basically just said, hey, everybody can now have faith in electoral college? Has anybody seen that yet? I'll see if I can pull it up here and we'll watch it. Let's see. Yes, I'm kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop too. Um, so let's see. Tennessee Ridge Runner watched it, and I think we're 50-50 here as far as saying it and not seeing it. But it look at I went over all the shenanigans this last Thursday. For 4 days before the election, 5 days. And we already knew that they were pulling some crap. We already knew that it was going to be, you know, whatever. So that's why I went over that stuff. And then and here's the other thing, censorship. All right, the tube pulled down the last 4 hours of the 16-hour live that we did. Which is nuts. I mean, that's just nuts. Why they did that, I will never know. But it doesn't show the results from where we did the results live or anything like that, which is kind of irritating. But we all know YouTube, Google, and all of them are run by the globalists. So there's no real big surprise there because they don't want everybody to know. So anyway, that's enough of my opening monologue here. Let's go through and see who's all in here. So we got Patrick Kelly, Awaken Trillium, Harvest Mary Moon. Scroll down here. Vicky Sorrells, Angel Rose, Tennessee Ridge Runner, Sharon Hudgens, Share Bear. It is good to see all of you in here today. Roy Diamond, Pamela Barone. It is good to see everybody. Everybody. And Share Bear, I am getting ready to wrench you now as soon as I pull it up on my phone. So, let's see here. There. come on. It won't let me in my own. There it goes. Okay, so there we go. And we've also got Shanna Kappas. Welcome in. And yeah, I mean, there's just a lot that's going on right now, and it is already started. Thank God it has already started. They're already trying to get house clean. There's a lawsuit that was filed by the Kansas State Attorney General, and it was filed with 4 other states against Pfizer. And I'm actually going to call Pfizer for what it is. And yeah, and Share Bear. I don't know. I think it may have. I'm going to look at that stuff too with the final numbers or with the numbers and all that good stuff too. But as of now, we did the map during the live on Tuesday night. And as it stands now, that map, based off of polling numbers or exit poll from Monday, was 100% correct to what's being released now. The and I think New York is another one that I think over the period of the next couple of years is going to go red, just because they've seen the influx, they've seen everything. So yeah, but and I know for sure we picked up at least one seat from California that was previously blue. So in the House. So that's a good thing. So let's see here. Let me go here. Ah, crap. Would help if I was typing on the right screen. So let's go here. I'm not using C-SPAN. I'm not using any of that other crap. Let me go to 270 to win. There we go. So, Justin Rose, welcome in. Sherry K, welcome in. So let's see here. So let's go to California. Let me look at California real quick. I'll go ahead and pull that up here. Just that way everybody can see what I'm looking at here. All right, so I highlighted California. Let's see here. Oh, let's see here. Uncalled congressional seats. So it looks like the Republicans have 52 for the Senate so far. And let's see. I don't want that, damn it. So it looks like Republicans picked up that one house or that one seat in the House. We're up to 213 in the House of Representatives to 199. So let's see here. I want California. There we go. That's California House, U.S. House. There we go. It's not what I want. So it looks like Mike Marr just barely lost there in California. Looks like District 21 by 1,000 votes. Same, it looks like John Duarte won. So there's one seat, that Republican seat that we won. Josh Harder won by 2,000 votes. He's a Democrat, but there's only 56% reporting still. So it's interesting. It's going to be very interesting. Roy, I am rested. I am rested and I am ready to go. And for some reason, you are not showing up. This is getting really asinine here. Give me a second because the tube is already screwing with me for today. I cannot. Man. Oh my God, really? Good Lord, how many verifications are set up for this damn thing? So, let me go here. Let me go here to my studio. Give me just a second here. Because I may have to do it this way. Roy. Oh, that's X. Never mind. Dang it. All right. So, anyway, I apologize for that. So, there's some funny business going on, and there's going to be some funny business going on for the next however long. And then Joe coming out today and saying, see, we showed the American people the election process is fair and free and it can be trusted. We restored confidence. He didn't restore confidence in shit. It was people like you and me and Hawk and all the other ones that were actually out recording at the election, stopping the horse shit from happening. We are the ones that restored the election process to what it was. And I'm going to bring that up here in a minute. But and the older millennial had put this out. And I think it's worth a read. So let me enlarge the page here. So the older millennial replying to John Pavlovitz, you guys really need to come to the realization you stole 2020. There is no reality where Biden getting more votes than any time in history makes sense. There's not a reality where an extra 20 million votes above historical record makes sense. You're not missing votes election. This is what it looks like when you don't cheat. So in 2004, okay, 121 million. 08, 129 million. 12, 126. 16, 128. 2020, 155 million. What the crap? 2024, 129. And that's just votes cast so far. So when I seen the final tally for the president, or ongoing tally right now, I think it's only like 130 million. So and Donald Trump so far has got 72 million of that. I mean, let's be real about something here. There are some shenanigans still going on, but it wasn't anything like it was in 20. So, yeah. Anyway. And then, comments to this. Damn, y'all, maybe we really did steal the election in 2020. Yeah, no shit. And that came from Damaged Phantom out of, it looks like, Ohio. And Bathtub Toaster Party. I'm so embarrassed right now. I mean, yeah. And Patrick says, I hope the Brunson case gets dusted off. So it's one of those things. It never really got put on the shelf. It just kind of, they paused it for a little bit. They're waiting for I'm just as sure as I'm sitting here, they're waiting for the most opportune time to do something. Because remember, Donald Trump has to have his hands free of it. He has to be completely separate from anything that goes on from this point forward. So, yeah, the only reason you guys are still blue in Illinois, those of you listening from Illinois, is that Chicago. That's it. That's the only reason, Chicago. And I don't even think they're blue. But I think, like Dave said on, what was it, Thursday night or Tuesday night, that Chicago is probably red, but because of the people running everything in Chicago, that's the reason it's still blue. So, okay. Now that everything is started, I'm going to play this. And if I get hit for medical misinformation, I apologize. Because we know they're coming after us hot and heavy. This is their last stand. And because it's their last stand, they're going to be trying to pull out all the stops. Navy vet, good to see you, man. So let me go ahead and, without further ado.
Kansas's case is the first of a multi-state. Thank you for being here today. We brought together this press conference to make the following announcement, and that is today Kansas is filing a civil suit against the Pfizer Corporation under the Kansas Consumer Protection Act, seeking enhanced civil monetary penalties, damages, and injunctive relief for misleading and deceptive statements made in marketing its COVID-19 vaccine. Pfizer also violated previous consent judgments with the state of Kansas, in which Pfizer promised never to use deceptive information to market their products. Kansas's case is the first of a multi-state collaboration with Kansas being the first of 5 states to file suit. Before I go further, let me put this in context. As we all know, during the COVID-19 pandemic, there was a great deal of panic and anxiety. Many people who were elderly or who suffered from various medical conditions had already died when the vaccines became available. And when that time came, when the vaccines became available, every one of us had to make 2 decisions. Am I going to take the vaccine? And if so, which vaccine will I choose to take? And these decisions were being made in a hurry. In some ways, you could say even being made under duress. In such an environment, it is imperative that Kansans making that decision receive the truth. They needed the truth. All Americans needed the truth. And in multiple respects, Pfizer did not provide the truth. Much of the information in this lawsuit came out as a result of a FOIA lawsuit seeking information from Pfizer that still had not been made public. And it was only a result of that effort that some of the information in this lawsuit is available. I urge everyone to read the 69-page complaint that goes into great detail about the specific statements that were made and the misleading nature of those statements made to Kansas consumers. The following is a quick summary of, I think, some of the 4 most egregious examples of misleading the public in Kansas. Pfizer marketed its vaccine as safe for pregnant women. However, in February of 2021, Pfizer possessed reports for 458 pregnant women who received Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine during pregnancy. More than half of the pregnant women reported an adverse event, and more than 10% reported a miscarriage, many within days of the vaccination. Pfizer also possessed information from its own October 2020 study on pregnancy in rats, indicating that its COVID-19 vaccine was likely linked to infertility, loss of litters, and stillborn offspring. Number 2, safety relating to heart conditions like myocarditis. Pfizer consistently denied any evidence of a connection or safety signal between its COVID-19 vaccine and myocarditis or pericarditis. Indeed, on January 18th, 2023, when asked whether its vaccine caused strokes or myocarditis, Pfizer chairman and CEO Alan Berla stated, quote, "We've not seen a single signal, although we have distributed billions of doses," end quote. A signal that he was referring to as a safety signal, which refers to a negative consequence. However, as Pfizer knew, the United States government, the United States military, foreign governments, and others had found that Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine caused myocarditis and pericarditis. Number 3, effectiveness regarding variants. Pfizer also claimed that its COVID-19 vaccine protected against COVID-19 variants, even though data available at the time showed Pfizer's vaccine was effective less than half the time against variants. Finally, transmission. Pfizer urged Americans to get vaccinated in order to protect their loved ones, clearly indicating a claim that Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccination stopped transmission of COVID-19. Pfizer later admitted that it had never even studied transmission of it after its recipients received the vaccine and whether they could say it stopped transmission. After making these misleading statements, Pfizer also engaged in some censorship attempts. Emails reveal that Pfizer officials coordinated with social media platforms to censor any speech critical of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine safety and effectiveness. It should also be noted that Pfizer elected not to join the federal government's vaccine development program known as Operation Warp Speed and declined that development funding. When asked about that, Pfizer's CEO, Albert Bourla, said Pfizer did not participate in the program in order to, quote, liberate, end quote, Pfizer's scientists and to avoid government oversight of its vaccine development. He also said, quote, they want reports. I don't want to have any of that, end quote. Referring to they, when he said they, he was referring to the federal government. Pfizer's misleading statements contributed to success in marketing its vaccine in Kansas. By February of 2024, Pfizer had delivered over 3.3 million doses of its vaccine in the state of Kansas. This accounted for over 60% of all vaccine doses given in the state of Kansas. This suit is being filed today, and as I mentioned before, It is part of a multi-state effort in which more suits may follow depending on Pfizer's reaction. But this is about marketing products to the public. As I think most people know, the federal government conferred immunity on the vaccine manufacturers for tort suits seeking damages from injuries they received, but that did not free any of the vaccine manufacturers from their obligation to not mislead the public or make deceptive statements in marketing it. So this is principally about the marketing efforts that were made and how they contradicted what the company knew.
So, I don't remember hearing anything about this lawsuit. Do you? I don't remember hearing anything about it. Maybe it was out there, but it was hidden from everybody. So, why didn't they tell everybody about this? So, and this is what I put.
Thank you for being here today. We brought together this.
This is what I responded with. Let me pull it up here. And for those of you that don't follow me on X, I am going to drop my link so that way you can see it. So 17 drop. Look up Kansas. I will in just a minute, Swallow. Full Monty, what's going on? Yeah, that's an old video. I'm saying that I hadn't seen it, and I was asking everybody else if they had seen it, because I think it was kind of hidden, and unless you were kind of looking for it, you may not have found it. That's what I'm saying. So that's all I was getting at. So this is what I had put in response to that video. These 5 states include so far Kansas, Texas, Louisiana, Utah, and Mississippi. Call your attorney generals to inquire about them writing writs and support or joining the lawsuits. These pharma people need to realize that they are not in control of our health. We are. So that's what I put in response to it. So I will drop this. So that way, if you want to show family and friends that, yes, there is a lawsuit going on since June. Now, there's been a decision. I didn't see one. But so there's a couple things that maybe you can show people. So, okay. So, and then there's this from John Strand. I'm calling on Donald Trump to unconditionally pardon Tina Peters. So Tina Peters is the one that blew the whistle in Colorado about the Dominion systems, and look what happened. Tina blew the lid on the fact that elections officials deleted the access, audit, and adjudication files from Dominion voting systems in Colorado. Without preserving the records, we would have never known about this. The radical Democrat judge in her case refused nearly all of her witnesses and excluded virtually all of her defenses, then sentenced her to 9 years in prison. Tina Peters is a Gold Star mom and a patriot and a political prisoner in America. She must be freed. And I 100% agree with that. So, yes. So let me go back here. And then we have Scott Baio from yesterday. Scott Baio is a good guy. I think he's fantastic. So let me pause this real quick. I think this is great.
Robert De Niro, Rob Reiner, Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, and others. From The View, Rachel Maddow, Mark Ruffalo, Mark Hamill, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Richard Marx, Alec Baldwin, Pink, Ron Howard, Julia Roberts, George Clooney, Leo DiCaprio, Oprah, Cardi B, Lizzo, Ariana Grande, Billie Eilish, Jennifer Garner, J-Lo, Andy Cohen, Cher, Bryan Cranston, Jamie Lee Curtis, Kathy Griffin, Michael Keaton, Rosie O'Donnell, John Stamos, Eva Longoria, John Legend and his wife, Spike Lee, Sean Astin, Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, Jon Stewart, Bill Maher, Alyssa Milano, Bruce Springsteen, Barbara Streisand, Mark Cuban, and others.
Yeah, I thought that was great. And that was because the of them saying they were going to leave the country if Donald Trump was elected. And then look at what Mark Cuban does. He goes out and starts kissing Donald Trump's ass, right away. Oh, if Donald Trump would call me and ask me to work for him, I would. Kissing his ass right away. Good Lord. So, Mark Cuban, I thought you were leaving if Donald Trump was elected. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. How many of these celebrities are actually going to freaking leave? Probably none of them. Just so you know, and when Madonna was talking about it, that bitch is already a resident of England. Sorry for the profanity this morning, but sometimes you got to use profanity to get your point across. So, yeah, there's a reason behind it. And yeah, I mean, it's just unreal. I mean, yep, I seen that Share Bear. Let me put it up here so people can see it. Obama is missing and Clooney going to Spain. Yep, 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 yep. Yep. But Spain, I believe, is an extradition country. I believe. I could be wrong. So, yeah, and Mark Cuban would leave, but no other country want a rich cross-dressing trans man spoil their country. I like that. I like that, Tennessee. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, yeah, I just these these idiot celebrities that think that the American people actually give a damn about what they say is it kind of astonishing, actually. And the English, Britain, the British Parliament, the American people hasn't given a crap about what the English Parliament has had to say about the United States since let's see. Oh, the Revolutionary War. They tried to take our guns. Didn't we shoot them in return? I mean, come on now. Let's see. Yep, I thought so. I thought so. How would anybody know no Obama is missing? No one would care. It's not that we care about him. We care about seeing justice served. As a matter of fact, I made a meme just for that, by the way, not about Obama, but for justice. And how is it going, Chuck? I hope you are feeling better. I hope your wife is getting better. Um, and if something happened to your wife, man, I've been out of the loop for a while. I really apologize because I had no idea. Um, so yeah, let me pull that up real quick. I'm gonna pull this up here, and this was 6 days ago. Thank you, Share Bear. So let me go back here. So let me go to that. Oh crap, wrong one. Media. There we go. There we go. Yep, right here. Got Donald Trump, got RFK, and we've got Elon. Or, yeah. So, we're coming and justice is coming with us. That's what we need right there. That is what we need. And this is more than likely how Nancy woke up on the morning after the election. Yep. So, and then, yep, I find that to be true too. And oh wait, isn't that J Lo? With Diddy, isn't that Jay Z right there? Yeah, interesting, huh? Let me go back here, and I am going to go ahead and drop this in the chat for those that want to follow me. I agree. We need to see solid arrest, but like I said, oh crap. I will be back in a minute. All right, I am back. So, I mean, there's just quite a bit going on here. And somebody said up here, Jenny from the block somewhere. So it makes me wonder what that song was actually about. What was Jenny from the block actually about? Because if she was trying to get people to trust her, kids to trust her or whatever, and she was a purveyor or a procurer for certain people, wouldn't that, hey, I'm just Jenny from the block. You remember me? I used to live right down there. Yeah, I'm just saying. Hey, Mary Luck, good to see you. Um, and Wild Country Updates, good to see you. First time I've ever that I can remember seeing you in here. And there was somebody else here. But anyway, this is what Share Bear has sent, and it was the largest, so we have break and read it here. An Idaho Health Department isn't allowed to give this anymore. Experts say it's a first, which is probably not a first because it's been happening everywhere. Oh, and I got to download the damn app. A regional public health department in Idaho is no longer providing this to residents in 6 counties after a narrow decision by its board. Southwest District Health appears to be the first in the nation to be restricted from giving this and this, well, these, I should say, are an essential function of a public health department. While policymakers in Texas banned health departments from promoting these, and Florida Surgeon General bucked medical consensus to recommend against this, governmental bodies across the country haven't blocked these outright. I'm not aware of anything like this, said Adrienne Caselotti, Chief Government and Public Affairs for the National Association of County and City Health Officials. She said health departments have stopped offering this because of cost or low demand, but not based on a judgment of the medical product itself. The 6 county district, along with the Idaho-Oregon border, includes 3 counties in the Boise metropolitan area. Demand for these in the health department or in the health district has declined, with 1,601 given in 2021 to 64 so far in 24. The same is true for other of these. Idaho has the highest childhood vaccination exemption rate in the nation, and last year the Southwest District Health Department rushed to contain a rare measles outbreak that sickened 10. On October 22nd, the health department's board voted 4-3 in favor of the ban, despite Southwest medical director testifying to the thing's necessity. So, opposite Jansen's plea were more than 290 public comments, many of which called for an end to vaccine mandates or taxpayer funded or funding of vaccines, neither which are happening in the district. At the meeting, many people who spoke nationally are known for making rounds to testify against these, including Peter McCullough, a Texas cardiologist who sells contagion emergency kits that include ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, and drugs that have not been approved to treat this and can have dangerous side effects. No. See, this is a great article as far as, information wise that goes, with what's going on. But when they start spewing the garbage like this, you know, they're probably the ones that still call it horse dewormer, you know, which it is an anti-parasitic, but it's not only used in horses. It's been used for years on humans, right along with hydroxychloroquine. As a matter of fact, hydroxychloroquine they started giving to people coming home from Nam because they had uh, oh crap, I'm trying to remember the name of it. They had some virus and they started giving hydroxychloroquine then. They gave hydroxychloroquine to us when we were in Iraq to prevent oh shit. It was something that had to do with mosquitoes. It wasn't West Nile, it was something else. So I mean, yeah, malaria. There you go. Thanks, Swan Watcher. So yes, these drugs have been around forever, but they pushed them aside because they had an agenda to promote. And with that agenda that they were promoting, it harmed a bunch of people and killed some. So this, the agenda has to go away. And that's going to be going away with Kennedy going in and cleaning house. So, and here's just an example of that. Somebody asked him about food. So let's go back over here because I know I put it in here. Oh yeah. Then there's this. Here's our statement from the results of the 24 presidential election. This is from Osama Obama. And I will, and I'm just going to call him that because I think he's a moron. And I think he is the devil in disguise. Over the last few weeks and through Election Day, millions of Americans cast their votes, not just for president, but for leaders at every level. Now the results are in, and we want to congratulate President Trump and Senator Vance on their victory. This is obviously not the outcome we had hoped for, given our profound disagreements with the Republican ticket on a whole host of issues. Yeah, you mean because the Republican ticket isn't, the people don't want to be ruled, they don't want to be part of being subjects and getting whipped just because they can. Yeah, they can piss off. But living in a democracy, we don't live in a democracy. We live in, you know what? I'm not even going to finish reading that because it's pissing me off already. But I will repost it for those wanting to read it. So this is what I was saying about Kennedy. And it would help if I shared the tab. Asked a question as to why Bill Gates and China are allowed to buy up all the farmland in our country. Listen to what RFK Jr. explains. So, and this might have been played, but I think it's always good to hear because me and Mr. Sciatica had a conversation about this about a week ago. And he had no idea. Tyson is one of Smithfield's biggest pork producers. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but here where I live, Tyson is a big employer too, and they've been employing a lot of illegals because they can get away with it. And I'm going to call them illegals because I don't know their immigration status, and nor do I give a shit. But if they're illegal, they don't need to be working here, period. So let's go ahead and play this.
Hey, everybody, here I am in Sherwood, Connecticut, on Sherwood Island. There's the little woodchuck hall. Shirley Troubadour asked a question about why Gates and China are being allowed to buy up all the farmland in our country. And I'm going to tell you something that I had an experience with. I spent many years, about 20 years, suing the factory farms, the big hog farms, and the big chicken producers like Tyson and Bo Pilgrim and Frank Perdue. But Smithfield Foods was the biggest pork producer. And Smithfield came to the state of North Carolina. They built a slaughterhouse that could process 30,000 pigs a day. And then they had a partner named Wendell Murphy, who was in the state Senate, and he passed 28 laws in the North Carolina State Senate making it illegal to sue a factory farm. He left and went into partnership with Smithfield, created a way to raise pigs, instead of raising them on farms, to raise them in warehouses called Murphy 1100s. And they dropped the price of pork from 60 cents a pound to 2 cents a pound. It put out of business all 28,000 independent hog farmers in the state of North Carolina, and it replaced them with 2,200 factories, all of them either owned by Smithfield or contracted to Smithfield. The only farmers who could stay in business were farmers who signed that contract with Smithfield to mortgage their homes, to put those big hog sheds, the Murphy 1100s, on their property, and then they lose all control. They become serfs on their own land. Smithfield dictates all their farming practices. It gives them the food. It delivers the piglets, picks up the grown animals, and brings them to slaughter. They put out of business 28,000 farmers, and they control now 80% of the hog production in North Carolina. Because they dropped the price in North Carolina, Iowa had to adopt the same system, had to cave in to Smithfield. They ended up taking control of 80% of the hog production in our country. Then they sold themselves to China. So now China owns all that hog production in America, and it controls our landscapes. And that's the end of Thomas Jefferson's vision of an American democracy rooted in tens of thousands of independent freeholds, each one owned by family farmers, each with a stake in our system of government. And that's why all of this industrial agriculture not only gives us substandard food, but they're also taking control of our landscapes, and that is a huge threat to American democracy. I hope you guys.
Yeah, kind of enlightening, isn't it? I mean, kind of enlightening. It's really one of those things that people really didn't have a clue about. The only reason I knew about Tyson in Smithfield, my wife, before she went to work for the post office, worked at Tyson. And a friend of ours worked at Smithfield in Peru, which is about 20 minutes from where I'm at. And Smithfield, that's all they do there is make bacon. Smithfield bought it. And before that, it was called Marburger. And that was a big thing in Peru when I was growing up. Marburger bacon and bacon bits. So it's one of those things. These huge corporations have taken over and pretty much forced out the little guy, which I think is a load of shit. But, you know, it's one of those things. Now, I'm not saying they don't pay good money over there, because they do. I'm saying that we need to go back to Main Street. People need to start learning how to do their own stuff again, making their own bacon, making their own sausage. Go back to what it used to be. I remember as a kid, it was not unusual to see smaller communities, every house having a garden. I remember my grandparents, they had a garden and it was huge and it fed the whole family for a year. And I also remember as a kid being able to go to the grocery store because the grocery store was buying the Marburger bacon. Joanne, if I remember right, uh, Mace's was one of them that bought Marburger bacon. It was a private mom and pop grocery store, and their bacon was fresh. So, and now we don't have that. Now you can't go to the store and buy bacon without it being made by some huge corporate conglomerate. So who knows what all they're putting in there? I mean, good God. I was told by my wife and kids, I am no longer allowed to buy store bought bacon. I have to make bacon because the taste is different. It tastes like it did way back when. There's no, there's hardly any preservatives in it. The only preservative that's in there is the salt. So it's really just a big, it's been a big scam to force the little guy out. That's all it's been about from the beginning, to force the little guy out, to make people buy from big box stores, to make people, dependent on them. So that way it made them feel trapped. Well, if I don't do this and I can't do this. No, bullshit. So, no, I actually bought my smoker. I did do that. I bought my smoker. I bought a Pit Boss. Actually, I bought two of them. The first one was small. I gave it to my mom. And then I bought a bigger one. I bought a Pit Boss Austin XL, I think is what it is. And it works great. I can smoke 3 pork bellies on it at a time, which really makes a difference. So yeah. And sausage is really easy to make. You take a pork shoulder, and you cut it into cubes. You put it through a meat grinder, and then you season it with black pepper, uh, and crushed red pepper, and I also use fennel seed and sage. But and it's a lot better for you. There, once again, there's no preservatives in it. It tastes better. And one thing I've put in there in the past to kind of thicken it up, to make like sausage patties for sausage sandwiches and stuff like that, was I use breadcrumbs and an egg. I mean, chickens, have become a fad. It's one of those things. Chickens have become a fad. Everybody's raising chickens now. So, with everybody raising chickens, you should have plenty of eggs. Use an egg to thicken it up. We got to start doing this stuff on our own and sharing with our neighbors and stuff like that, because if we don't, and they don't know what all half of these chemicals that are put in food as preservatives, you can't even pronounce their damn name. And if I can't pronounce it, I don't want it, because I don't know what's in there. Do you? So I mean, it's just one of those things. Um, and it looks like I may lose service here in a minute. So, but yeah, it's just one of those things. Not a doc, but herbs are the best medicine. Yeah, herbs have been around for years. For
Hey, everybody, here I am.
and nobody. And then they basically, you know what? I'm just going to play the video, just because. Let me find it here. Just because a lot of folks don't realize this, and if I get hit, I get hit. I don't give a shit. I'll build another channel if I have to. It does not bother me one bit. So I mean, and you're right. Natural flavoring isn't natural. You're absolutely 100% right. How many times have you gone to the store and bought you a tea and it says natural tea flavor on it, and you take a taste of it and you're like, this doesn't taste like tea. I mean, come on. So
At the same time that John D. Rockefeller.
Let me play this video for everybody.
At the same time that John D. Rockefeller seized U.S. media, he also hijacked U.S. medicine. When it was discovered that drugs could be produced from petroleum, America's top oil mogul ordered his army of propagandists to invert reality accordingly. Medicines used for thousands of years were suddenly classified as alternative, while the new, petroleum-based, highly addictive, and patentable drugs were declared the gold standard. After buying a German pharmaceutical company that manufactured chemicals of war for Adolf Hitler, Rockefeller leveraged his political influence by pressing Congress to declare natural healing modalities unscientific quackery. Rockefeller then took control of the American Medical Association and began offering massive grants to top medical schools under the mandate that only his approved curriculum be taught. Any mention of the healing powers of herbs, plants, and diet was erased from most medical textbooks. Doctors and professors who objected to Rockefeller's plan were crucified by the media, removed from the AMA, and stripped of their license to teach and practice medicine. Those who dared to speak out were arrested and jailed. When evidence began to emerge that petroleum-based medicines were causing cancer, Mr. Rockefeller founded the American Cancer Society, through which he suppressed that information. John D. Rockefeller is duly credited as the founder of the pharmaceutical industry, and the reason that medical error is currently the third leading cause of death in America. This is not an indictment against doctors. More than anyone, they are under the stranglehold of the single largest lobbying power in Washington. Every year, the pharmaceutical industry spends at least twice the amount as big oil to influence laws, policies, and public perception. Thanks to Mr. Rockefeller, the architect of American monopolies, no industry has more power over our lives than Big Pharma.
So, and this is exactly what RFK is fighting for us to really be healthy again. And for those of you that didn't know what Dave was talking about as far as the church hearings went, let me show you.
That it is a matter of
Don't tell anybody I'm here.
real concern that planted stories intended to serve a national purpose abroad came home and were circulated here and believed here, because this would mean that the CIA could manipulate the news in the United States by channeling it through some foreign country. And we're looking at that very carefully.
Do you have any people being paid by the CIA who are contributing to a major circulation American journal?
You have people who submit pieces to American journals.
Do you have any people paid by the CIA who are working for television networks.
This, I think, gets into the kind of getting into the details, Mr. Chairman, that I'd like to get into in executive session.
Why would you have to go into executive session? Oops, nobody's supposed to know I'm here. Hey, Slow Country, if you're talking, nobody can hear you because you muted yourself.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like, and you said what I was saying. Yeah. So he didn't come out and say, no, we don't do that. You know, it's against the law for us to do that. It was a no. That's something we need to go into an executive session for. I mean, come on.
Yeah, Colby, and it's ironic how he looks so much like John Podesta and Chester Bennington. Almost like he's a time traveler too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, it's something else. Absolutely something else. No doubt about it.
So, I mean, there's a lot. And if I get hit, I get hit because of the stuff I put out today. I don't really care. You know, I can make another channel. We can't make more friends. We can't make more people, you know, as far as that's concerned. You know, we can't.
You might not be able to make more people, but my stuff works. No, I'm joking.
But I mean, we can't go on thinking that everything's going to be hunky dory and that you know, we're going to be saved, because the thing is, we got to start helping ourselves. We really do.
Yeah. And there's a lot of misleading paths to get people to the point of giving up and walking away and stopping helping to get everything turned back. You know what I mean? It's like there comes a certain point where, you know, people just get so overladen with information that their brains just shut down, their bodies shut down, and they shut everything out. And the thing is that processing bit by bit by bit, take what you can use, leave the rest for somebody else to pick up. Don't try to carry it all by yourself, because when you try to do that, then you go insane like me, and you don't.
I've been crazy for years. That's why I tell people.
Yeah. No, Dad, stay away. No, you stay away from there. Stay away from there. I think she's pushing the last pup out now. So,
oh boy.
Oh, by the way, folks, I'm not gonna be going live today. I'm having babies. I mean puppies. So I probably won't be going live today.
Ooh.
Yeah. She's at 5 so far. And I think this next one's gonna be the last one.
Nice.
So,
yeah. Yeah. Didn't you say you weren't expecting the pups? This was
well, it's I was expecting. I just wasn't expecting her to deliver this quick. And I just think that maybe it's because of the stress of everything going on around here right now that she decided to let loose a little bit early. This would be Samson and Jasmine. Samson and Jasmine. They're all solid black. All solid.
Oh man.
Yeah. So, and all healthy, big and healthy. But I thought I had at least another 9 to 10 days, because I wanted to have a camera set up for the birth and everything this time. Yeah, this is the last batch of puppies that Samson gets to make. He gets his snip, snip, snip now. You know, don't look at me like that. You don't even know what those words are.
Somebody was asking about California a little bit ago. At the beginning of the show.
Yeah, California is fucked. They passed that proposition, or that they passed a whole bunch of shit. You know, but I'm telling you, you know, California is 90% red and only 10% blue. It's those big cities that fuck everybody. I'm sorry for my language, but that's exactly what happens. It is a total. The whole country is freaking red. You just got little spots of blue all over, you know, and it's those little spots of blue that happen to be the big cities that, and this is where the electoral college is not fair, you know, because you get these big Democrat cities that stop the state from achieving its greatness because of the Democrat policies that are going to be put into place because of these the electoral for each state is the big cities. It's not for, you know, so it should be that every single county gets one electoral college. And if we, you know, electoral vote, every county. Okay. And if they did it that way, they wouldn't be able to cheat like this and put people in. Okay. And what makes it even worse is Portland and Salem. Oregon is a sanctuary state, not a sanctuary city, a sanctuary state. And you want to know what? The people of Oregon did not get to vote on that. They did not get to vote on that. And on top of that, we did not get to vote on whether or not we would accept mail-in ballots only. We did not get to vote on that either.
Yeah. So I don't know if this is true or what it is. It came from Frankie Stocks. In the immediate aftermath of the 2024 election, more than 40 monkeys have escaped a biomedical research lab in South Carolina.
No, that happened like a year ago.
Oh, did it?
Or it was the 2022 election.
Was it?
If I'm not mistaken, yeah.
Okay.
Because remember they were saying, oh yeah, it's the 12 monkeys. Remember the movie 12 Monkeys?
Yeah, with Bruce Willis. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 2022 that actually happened. And if it's happened again, that place in South Carolina needs to lose its license and ability to harbor endangered or exotic animals. You know,
Yeah.
if you cannot keep them contained, then there's absolutely no reason whatsoever that you should be licensed to care for that kind of, you know, so, you know, but, and Big Sky Dreamer, you are 100% correct. The Amish deserve a lot of credit for getting out. They stepped outside of their own communities and participated in what in our generation, the most important election of our entire lifetimes. So I love your comment there. Thank you very much for putting that out there.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the Amish, Pennsylvania would have been lost.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that. And remember, when we started going through the exit polls, and
Yeah.
I said I really think Trump is going to, get Pennsylvania because this does not account for the Amish, and I
Yeah.
was right. I was right. That wasn't an "I told you so" thing. That was a "Hey, I think this is going to happen," and it actually happened. So yeah, and did everybody see that Hamas is calling for an immediate end of the war after the Trump won the election? So it's already started. It's already started. And George Santos put this out. Do you follow George Santos, Hawk?
Sometimes I'm waiting to see some of the this is the thing is he came out with when he came out with the big thing stating about okay, that's almost, I would say that is almost accurate. Okay. The spot there in New Mexico that's all blue, I don't believe that. I do not believe that that is accurate. I also don't believe that Nevada and Arizona are accurate on there. As to the state of Oregon, that is 100% correct. Okay. That is the strip that goes from Eugene, Oregon, all the way over to all the way over to yeah, you should just click the picture. Click that picture. There you go. Yeah, that makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, big time.
So so where the fine point is in the center of Oregon, that's Eugene, what's called the Eugene Springfield area. Okay. And that line that you see there goes it basically goes Eugene, Salem, Portland, and then that's the stuff on the coast there. That's the Astoria. I think it's Astoria and possibly Coos Bay. I've actually, I've lived
Yeah,
here
Coos Bay is up here.
for almost 20 years, and I the one time that I went to the coast, I was in a flipping wheelchair at the time, covered in a blanket in the middle of the summertime, and I slept all the way there, and then I slept all the way back. We sat on the beach for about 4 hours, and I was really sick then. I was almost dead, and the people who were nursing me back to health were the ones who brought me out there. So it was beautiful beach, However, I didn't actually get to see the coast because of the fact that that I slept all the way back, and so I've actually never seen the entire coastline of the state of Oregon. Do I want to? I could care less. I've seen one ocean. The other ocean looks pretty much the same. It's the same kind of water. I'm not going to get anything sparkly out of it, So I really didn't care. But where that map is concerned, it's that's just to show you that the majority of this country is in fact conservative, and it's not so much Republican as it is conservative. Most people believe in family values and everything else. It's the big cities that all of that is broken down to pretty much nothing. You're 18, get out, kind of thing. Instead of teaching the children to keep a connection with the family, that will establish a long generational line that will never be able to be broken. So
Yeah. So there's funky business going on everywhere. And if you look at, at the Arizona, like you were talking about, that red, you know, it shows Maricopa County being red.
Yeah.
So if it's red, as that map is showing, why is Kerry Lake losing?
Yeah, that's and that's another thing is that and Mark Robinson lost. North Carolina?
Yep.
I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see how this how that happened. Especially seeing that the current governor and his entire administration, except for his lieutenant governor, didn't do crap for the people in North Carolina during the hurricane. The only one who was out there was Mark Robinson.
Yeah.
So I don't see I do not see in any way, shape, or form how the joker that won the governorship there got it. I think it's I think it's 100% rigged, 100% rigged, and I think that invest. But Trump said anybody caught cheating in this election, it's going to come back to haunt him. The thing is nothing's going to get done about that until he gets into office. Which I think is going to be sooner than people think.
Yeah, I think so too. And remember, let me bring it back here because oh crap, there it is. Because oh man, they took it down. There it is. Okay. So let me do it this way. Remember this, Hawk?
Go ahead, play it.
Congressmen elected, and we got to get the senators elected because we can take the Senate pretty easily. And I think with our little secret, we're going to do really well with the House, right? Our little secret is having a big impact. He and I have a secret. We'll tell you what it is when the race is over.
Yeah. So the little secret is going to be interesting because for some reason, I have a feeling that it has something to do with the Supreme Court. Not positive, but that's where my brain leans, I should say. But the just yeah, just hang on one second. I gotta.
So yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you because there's been cases that's before the Supreme Court that haven't been heard that has been docketed or that was on the secret docket or the dark docket is what I call it for a while now.
Sorry, I had to put one of the new pups on the nipple. He couldn't find it. He was getting mad. All boys. Whole litter is boys.
So yeah, it's it's going to be really interesting to say the least. And I just got to say this: when he said the what is it, the race to be over? Technically, the race isn't over yet because they're still counting ballots in California.
Yeah.
So technically, the race isn't over yet. So I just got to put that out there.
Yeah. No, it's not. California is not over. They're still counting. So they say. They're still counting.
I think they're injecting votes myself, but
Oh, I don't absolutely. I don't doubt it. But it doesn't matter. The electoral votes that they have available would have absolutely no effect on Trump's already established number of 314. And Trump said the other night, he says we're on the road to 315. And then like a short couple of minutes after that, Alaska dropped.
yeah.
Which was 3. And then Arizona went for him yesterday. So I don't understand how Mark Robinson and how Kerry Lake did not get in. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
It doesn't to me either.
Yeah. You hear the growling in the background?
Yeah.
That's Mama looking at Dad saying, "You did this to me." That's what she's saying. Let me translate. You did this to me. I didn't ask for this. You made me do it. Anything else? No, I don't think it's going to be that, Monty. However, that that very well could be. But the thing about that would be this. Presidents are the only ones who have term limits.
Well, and the other thing is, remember, he cannot come out and say that he's been in charge this whole time either, because he has to remain separate, because he has to be insulated from all the other crap that's been going on. And it's about to happen. He has to remain insulated. So, yeah, I mean, is it possible? Anything's possible. But I see it rather as it being something from SCOTUS, or possibly a dirty little secret that the House doesn't want anybody to know. So I'm waiting. Like I said, the election technically isn't over yet because California is still counting. So, yeah. Exactly. Exactly. That's why he has to remain insulated right there.
Sorry, I'm responding to somebody wanting a puppy.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. I know you got stuff to do. But yeah, Hawk, I'm going to call it here in a few minutes. Is there
Okay.
anything you wanted to show?
No. I just wanted to let everybody know. Listen, this isn't over yet. The race may be done, and we may have a president-elect, but this is not over by far.
No.
Okay. So remain calm, remain patient, be vigilant. See something, say something. And just trying to stay on track, keep in prayer, and keep researching. Don't forget to maintain as much information as you can. If you have to put it on hard drives and everything else, then save information so that when people come to you, you're able to have a conversation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I told you so's can come later. Okay. The I told you so's can come later, or the I tried to tell you, all that stuff can come later. Show them information first. Once, you know, once, you know, once. See, I have a feeling the Brunson case and the altered results of the 2020 election. I think that both of those things are going to come up and come out. And when that happens, we're going to see a large number removed from the Congress, from the Senate, and from the entire administration. Appointed positions are going to have to vacate immediately. Okay.
Right.
I believe that there will be charges filed against all of them for particular different things and things that they have done since they've been in office. So understand, it's not just the cheating in the election. It's the things that they have done. It's the things that they have done since going into that position. Think about all the bills that they've passed and everything else. Well, if it turns out that they're all illegitimate, then none of that stuff gets to go forward. That means that Ukraine is responsible to pay back every freaking dime that they got. That Israel has to pay back every dime that they got. That Taiwan's got to pay back every freaking dime that they got. Okay. And then on top of that, all these big corporation warmongers that have what is considered the military industrial complex, Raytheon, all these other organizations, they're going to have to give the money back too. Okay. Because they're the ones who got their hands on that money first. So, so be prepared. Those military, equipment builders, manufacturing, and everything. They're going to be pissed off that they got to give that money back, and that and they're going to fight about it. There's no doubt about it. But just keep your faith. Keep your faith. Yeah.
Yes, and I would also like to add about the Brunson case, because the ones that have been filed and rejected from the Supreme Court, I believe all of them are the same, but they're named different on who filed the case. Is that right? They all essentially say the same thing.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
All of the Brunson cases, even the ones that were kicked and the one that's on the docket right now, they all pretty much say the same thing, right?
They go towards the same goal, but they're not word for word exact.
Right. And the reason I say that and ask that is because in the original Brunson case, they were talking about how they violated national security. And that it was a security risk from 2020 because of the violation of national security. I'll have to read through the case again, but if memory serves, it was they violated national security and they worked to overthrow the government through that. Now I'm paraphrasing. I'm gonna have to go through it again, but I'm pretty sure that's what it said. That's why I was asking if they all said the same thing. So but Hawk, any last words?
No, I just gave him. That was it for me.
That was it?
Yeah, I'm simple today.
All right.
I'm like so tired. It's ridiculous. Can't even pull out my bed because I having to set that whelping box back up. So I semi slept in my chair with my feet on the desk and surrounded by dogs.
Oh God, that had to be uncomfortable.
Camper gets here Monday, So I'll sleep then, or I'll sleep when I'm dead. One or the other. One or the other.
You're probably going to sleep like a baby when you get in that camper.
Yeah, I'm probably going to have to bring somebody in to dog sit for a couple of days because I have a feeling I won't wake up for a while.
Yeah, man. Well, everybody, last words for me today are stay vigilant. Don't become complacent. Because complacency is what got us into this mess, and complacency is not going to get us out of this mess. So keep researching, like Hawk said. Keep 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 your head on a swivel, and always be prepared. All right, with that, I'm going to end it. Everybody have a great weekend. God bless and Godspeed.